Hello, Ashley. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're just going to talk a little bit about Black history. Every year we celebrate famous people. We all know about the Martin Luther King Jr.'s, the Harriet Tubmans, the Rosa Parks, the Muhammad Ali's, Jackie Robinson, Langston Hughes, the powerful Maya Angelou, and even the founder of Black History Month, Dr. Carter G. Woodson. But often we don't think about how every day we're making history. And recently, we had a historical event on the 20th when we got our first Black lady Vice President of the United States. So
Right.
this month, everybody's always highlighting all the famous people. But this month, I've decided I want to highlight people who are making history, history makers, because we're walking around in our Blackness making history daily. I read an article about, well, we'll get to that later. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, Ashley?
Yes. Well, first off, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on tonight. I am from Arkansas. I live in Dallas. I am an entrepreneur full time now. I am a mom of three. I have a 15-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 7-year-old. So it's a lot to juggle. I am the owner of multiple businesses. I have a commercial and residential cleaning company. I have just launched a tax company, well, our own franchise with my partner, my mate, Dwayne Thompson. And I also have a brand consulting company known as the Ryan brand that I am currently working on to help fellow small business owners, both new and seasoned, make sure their businesses are successful.
Okay, so you have multiple businesses. Did you mention the house cleaning?
Yes.
You mentioned it? Okay. So she's a serial entrepreneur, a mom, e- extra like the mom of all moms. Like how many dinners do your kids eat a night?
Um, well, I don't think they would consider them all dinners, but we'll say probably two or three.
They
And
eat
they
two
come straight
dinners.
in and eat, and then they want more, and then a midnight snack slash dinner. Last night I was frying chicken at almost 10 o'clock. So
10 o'clock. That was dinner two or
mhm.
three?
Two. That was
Two.
two.
Okay, because they
I
get a
ate
full
three
meal when they
yesterday.
get home from school, and then
Yes.
she later on cooks another full meal, and then they have
Yes.
snacks before bed.
Yes.
So she's a wonderful mother. So I just got a few
Thank
questions about
you.
what famous African American stands out to you and inspires you.
Well, currently, honestly, Michelle Obama at this point, she is the epitome of like a multifaceted entrepreneur at this point. She's a mom that resonates well with me, and she's also juggling multiple hats. So right now, that's who stands out to me.
I love Michelle Obama. She has this one quote I use at all my vision board events.
Which one is
And
that?
I'm not going to mess it. I'm going to just tell you a little piece of it. It basically
Okay.
says, as a woman, I wish I could
Hmm.
find it real quick. You should always have someone ahead of you whose footsteps you're following in, someone beside you that you're walking this path out with, and someone behind you that you're pulling up. Who would you say those three women are for you?
Whew. Walking the path with me.
Who's walking with you? Who inspire? Well, you said she inspires you,
She
and who's
inspires
behind
me.
you?
Okay. The last. What was the last part?
Who's behind you? Who are you
Behind me.
mentoring, pulling up?
Okay. So walking the path with me. You'll probably laugh when I say this. I'll say you. I look up to you. We talk all day, every day, y'all. But we have some of the same goals. We are moms. We have some of the same problems. You counsel me through some of my issues and vice versa. So walking the path with me would be you. And behind me or pulling up or who I'm mentoring are some of my girlfriends that want to be small business owners as well, and even my children, my daughters. my middle child, she sells slime with Dwayne's daughter. They have started different little businesses, and my oldest she's taught herself how to braid. So she also wants to start a t-shirt business. So I am trying to be that blueprint so that she can be successful in her endeavors.
Awesome. Awesome. So tell us, you talked about the famous entrepreneur, the Michelle Obama, rather, who you're following behind. And you talked about, I think you make an impact on my daughters. You're impactful, and I thank you for making a positive influence on them, because anybody know with adult children,
They're like my little sisters that I didn't ask for.
they don't listen to me. So Ashley's able to be there with the sound, some rational thought. So what are you doing to be a Black History Maker? What are you doing?
Well, first, let's say that, Black History, we're talking about Black History, but Black History is more than a month. It's a movement, like it's a lifestyle. Some people only recognize it as a month, but it's truly a lifestyle that I'm trying to make sure that I am creating in my household and attempting to create outside of my household. So with the tax company that we've started, which we're hoping to blossom into a franchise, I want to give other women, other minority women, the same opportunity to join our franchise to make a crazy amount of money that they can turn around and put into their dreams and their endeavors. If they're looking for, ways to finance these goals, I want to give them that opportunity.
So that's something I call a bridge. Sometimes we need a bridge to our goals.
Right.
And we have to do something that is not on our necessary to-do list, the top thing, because your tax business have enabled you to be a full-time entrepreneur and come home and come off the job and have enough time to fix 3 dinners a night.
And also be at events, not just the dinners, but we take care of business too.
And to be at the events, the basketball games, and not be dragging yourself because you're so wore out from somebody's 9 to 5.
Or missing it completely.
Tell us a little bit about your path to becoming an entrepreneur.
Well, let's just say it was very interesting. A lot of people tell us to, go start that business. Or nowadays, what we see on social media is buy her an LLC, gift her an LLC, but nobody tells us what to do after getting this LLC or after thinking of a business name. Nobody gives us the blueprint. Okay, now the real work starts so that you can have a successful business, start creating an LLC. We can just do in our sleep. But my path it's like, I want to leave corporate America, but how do I do it? How do I do it and still be able to stay financially savvy and make sure that I'm not having to worry about how I'm going to pay my bills? So I was given the opportunity to join the tax industry, had no intentions on ever preparing taxes. Like, I didn't even prepare my own taxes. And I said, okay, I was given the opportunity. I was bartending at the time at Pappadeaux and still working full time for, I believe it was Mercedes-Benz Financial at this moment. And I said, okay, the guests came in, they told me about doing taxes. They asked me how much money I made bartending. And I told them, and it's like, okay, that's good. And I was like, well, I also have a full-time job. So it's great money with both of the jobs. And they said, well, what if I told you that you can make 6 figures in 3-4 months? And I'm like, I wouldn't believe you, right? Doesn't sound legit. So I took their cards. Thankfully, I did. It was a couple. And I said, well, I'll contact you guys if I'm interested. Couple days later, I was in Vegas for New Year's Eve, and we blew a lot of money. I came back and I was like, oh man, I spent all this money Christmas, all this money in Vegas, New Year's Eve. Like, what am I going to do? And I was like, oh, I can do taxes, make that money back, and it'll be okay. So I joined this franchise as just a tax preparer. I wasn't an office owner. I was just a tax preparer. And David Jackson was my manager, and he taught me the ropes. He used to work for the IRS. He used to work for the insurance industry, and he just kind of took me underneath his wing. And I was seeing him kind of like how he moved. And I said, well, are you not working full time? And he's like, no, all I do is taxes. I might be in the beach, on the beach next week in a different country the following week, but I can take my computer and do taxes wherever I go. And I was like, oh, that sounds good. But I never thought that, that could be me. So as my children were getting older, I was like, I really need to be spending time with my kids, and I need to cut these daycare bills. I need to be able to pick up my kids from school, take them to school, etc. And eventually it just kind of flourished from there. And I saw myself being this full-time entrepreneur. I was like, this is attractive for me. I can do this. I have this hustle within myself that I can push myself daily to consistently want to get up and work for myself. So that's how I got to that point. And I haven't looked back since.
And then from there, you birthed out the cleaning business, and now you have your consulting business.
Yes. That's my baby. The consulting business, I can truly say is my baby. Of course, taxes is not going to go anywhere. We're looking to grow enormously in the tax industry, but more so giving other people the opportunity to do what I did. With the consulting business, it's my baby simply because I care so much about people's success. I give out advice for free daily. I'm sure you know this. My boyfriend tells me all the time, like, with the advice that you just gave, you should be charging for that. And I didn't start the consulting business simply for revenue, but let's be honest, when we started business, we wanted to generate revenue. But I started it because so many people start businesses, or they have these ideas and they don't have anyone to help it come to life. So I take your dream keepers name and business to heart, because I'm trying to help people accomplish their dreams.
For people who don't know, that's under my brand, Dream Keepers. And what it is, I talk about this at my vision board events, and we'll have one coming up on Valentine's Day, that so often we have to make sure we're surrounding ourselves with vision keepers. There's somebody, dream keepers. There's somebody that we can tell our crazy dreams to. Right. I remember at one vision board party, this one lady, she put on her vision board ship. I said, "You going on a cruise?" She said, "No, I'm going to own a cruise ship." And I didn't say, "Girl, we don't own cruise ships. We just go on ships." I said,
"We're just a customer."
I said, "Okay." I said, "When you christen that boat, I don't know if anybody knows, but when they christen the ship, they just kind of push it over in the water, and it pushes down, and then it comes back up and straight. So there's water running on the shore." I said, "I'm going to be there right with you, running from that water with the champagne christening that boat." Those are dream keepers. Now we have some people that come to our lives as dream reapers. They are people that you can say, "Oh, the sky is so beautiful." And they say, "Girl, don't you see that rain cloud?" Those are people that do not encourage you. But you do need a little of them around, because they can sometimes pick out negative things about your business that you can fix ahead of time. But you don't want to tell them the full picture. Like, ask a dream keeper for me. And I try to be dream keepers for other people. I forgot my next question. That's what happens when you get old. Anywho, I want to thank you. This has been incredible. Your daughters are launching businesses. And that's what being a Black History Maker is. So we focusing on the past to be able to push us into the future is fine, but we need to start looking around at our Black History Makers. So I'm going to go for a brief commercial. I'm going to put you. So guys, I'm an entrepreneur too, and I have launched, and it'll be up on my website tonight, a line of Black History Makers t-shirts. There's one. There's another design. There's another one. So we have 3 designs. The shirts will start off at $25 plus shipping, and they'll be on my website tonight. So be on the lookout for those, because you are a Black History Maker. Thank you. We had that brief commercial break.
Go get the shirt, y'all.
So I want to thank you so much for coming on. I want to thank you for all of your support. So we're going to close out, and I'm going to let Ashley go. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Stay in the back. Stay in the back, though. And I'm going to close us out with a Black CPA. I'm going to just read a little bit about him because we know about all the famous people, but we're going to talk about Richard Austin. Richard Austin graduated from his large Detroit high school at the top of his class. While a teenager, he had developed a bookkeeping practice with primarily with Blacks and Jewish clients. One of his professors helped him meet the experience requirements, and he went on to have a successful CPA firm in the city. He was elected Wayne County Auditor in 1966, nearly lost a race that would have made him Detroit's first Black mayor in 1969, and was elected as Michigan's Secretary of State of 1971. Re-elected 4 times, he served in the role for over 2 decades. His name is Richard Austin, and he is a Black history maker. So guys, I want you to continue to live life on purpose and have an awesome rest